రాసారా ప్రోగ్రామ్స్? సో ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ రాసారా? ఓకే, ఇఫ్ టైం మనకి టైం కుదిరితే కనుక నెక్స్ట్ మళ్ళీ ఆఫ్టర్ థర్డ్ యూనిట్ మళ్ళీ సెకండ్ యూనిట్ లో ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ఇంకొన్ని డిస్కస్ చేద్దాము. సో టుడే ఐఎమ్ స్టార్టింగ్ యూ ద థర్డ్ యూనిట్. So your third unit is 8086 interfacing. Okay, so your third unit is 8086 interfacing. So am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you have different topics such as recording related to interfacing. You have different topics in 8086 third unit. So in your third unit, you will come across some interfacing techniques with some memory devices. How we interface memory with this 8086 processor, and we have to, as I already said you, that a microprocessor is a chip which is used to provide the operations which performs by a CPU. So but I have already said you that every component will be connected externally to the microprocessor. So microprocessor is nothing but it is a simple chip which contains ALU registers and control timing circuits. Okay, so it is a chip on which is capable of performing all the operations provided by the CPU. So that means it will not have any input devices, any output devices, or any memory devices internally. Okay, so microprocessor doesn't have all these things internally. So if you could remember the block representation of the microprocessor, we have discussed this in first unit, in very early early topics of your first unit. So microprocessor is nothing but it is a single chip which is used to perform the operations that are provided by a CPU. So whatever the CPU does, so those will be done by this microprocessor. So this is a system on chip. Okay, so it is a system on chip. Okay, so it contains ALU registers, timing and control circuit. So these are the three components that are connected internally, that are presented internally to the in the microprocessor. What are those? Registers, arithmetic logic unit and timing controls. So these are used to monitor the different parts. Okay, so timing and control circuit is used to monitor the different parts connected to the microprocessor. So what are the different parts connected to it? So microprocessors is a operating system. So that means it is used to perform various operations. So in order to perform an operation, we require some data. So that means the microprocessor has to provide it with some data. So that data will be provided to the microprocessor using input devices which are connected externally. So next, after processing the data, it will generate some result. Okay, so that result will be provided to the user by some output devices, again which are connected externally. So in between the transformations of input and output, so whatever the data we are providing or whatever the data the microprocessor is providing to the user, so that will be stored in some space. So that space is called as memory unit, and again it is connected externally to the microprocessor. So that means everything is connected externally to the microprocessor. So as I said you that the memory unit which is used to store the data, so that will be connected externally to the microprocessor. So which can be done by something called interfacing. So which is called as semiconductor interfacing. So don't worry, when I start something related to this concept of third unit, I will share the screen. So meanwhile, which I am explaining is entire theoretical concept. Okay, so it is entirely theoretical concept. So please follow my voice. So if I start this third unit explanation, I'll share the screen. Okay, so what should we do? So we have to add this memory unit with. So please wait. So can you able to see the screen? White sheet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So so your third unit is 8086 interfacing. So 8086 interfacing is your third unit. You have some concepts such as semiconductor memory interfacing, semiconductor memory interfacing. So next one is so timers and controllers interfacing, timers or counters interfacing. So next you have to we have to discuss about interrupt controllers. So like hardware and software interrupts, hardware and software interrupt applications. Okay. So next you have DMA controller. So next you have a programmable peripheral interfacing PPI. So next one you have keyboard interfacing. Next you have something related to alphanumeric displays interfacing like LEDs and LCDs. So next you have stepper motors and A to D converters. So these are the topics which we have to discuss in this third unit. So what are those? Semiconductor memory interfacing, timers, counters, interrupt controllers. So you have two parts here, hardware interrupts and software interrupts. So next one is DMA controller. So next programmable peripheral interfacing. So next keyboard interfacing, LEDs, LCDs, stepper motors and A to D converters. So these are all the topics which you are going to learn in your third unit. So these are all the topics which you are going to learn in your third unit. So let's first see what is interfacing. So let's talk about interfacing. So interfacing is nothing but joining or connecting something to the available unit. Okay, so if you want to connect something to the available unit, so that will be done by interfacing. So in the earlier classes, I have explained you that microprocessor is something called, it is a single chip which can perform all the operations of the CPU. So it's a single chip which is used to perform all the operations of CPU. So all the operations of CPU. So it's a single chip which is used to perform all the operations of the CPU. So that is the microprocessor. So if you can see the microprocessor, so a microprocessor is a chip which consists of ALU, registers and timing and control circuit. Timing and control circuit. So this is how a microprocessor is designed internally. So the internally there are three components: ALU, registers and timing and control circuits. So rest of the things which we want to operate, so nothing but we have to provide data to operate, which is called as input. So after processing, it will give you a result which is called as output. So in between input and output, so whatever the data is we are providing through input, so or whatever the data we have received at the output. So in order to make sure to store the data, we need something called memory unit. Okay, so everything, so except ALU registers and timing control circuit, so everything will be connected externally. Okay, so if you can see the block diagram of the microprocessor, so microprocessor is nothing but, so microprocessor contains something called ALU, registers and timing control circuit. So this timing control circuit is used to keep all the other parts of the system. So it keeps all the other parts of the system. So everything which except these things, everything will be connected externally. So that means everything we have to interface with the microprocessor. Okay, so we need to interface everything with the microprocessor. So what is meant by interfacing? Interfacing is nothing but creating a communication between two or more components. So we are making input devices to communicate with this microprocessor unit. Okay, so we are making the input devices input devices are connected to microprocessor unit. That means we are making these input devices to communicate with this microprocessor unit. Again, we are receiving the output from the microprocessor unit. That means there is a communication between this microprocessor unit and the output unit. So, and there is a communication between this memory unit and this microprocessor unit. So interfacing is nothing but creating a path between two or more components. So whatever might be the components, if you are making a path between these components, so then that process. So the creating a path for communication between two or more components is called as interfacing. So interfacing is used to connect one type of device with another type of device. Okay. So your unit is 8086 interfacing. So in this 8086 interfacing, we will connect different types of components, different types of devices with 8086. So we will interface memory devices with 8086. We will interface timers and counters with 8086. So we will interface some peripherals, okay, programmable peripherals. So we'll interface a keyboard. So you can interface LEDs, LCDs, stepper motor, converters, etc. So how we are interfacing these things with 8086 is your unit. Okay. Okay now. So various communication devices are connected to this microprocessor. So these are all the communication devices. So nothing but so this is a memory device. So memory interfacing. So this is a DMA controller or keyboard or LCDs. These are all input output devices. So input output interfacing. So you have two types of interfacing here. One is memory interfacing.
Hey, Lucky.
And next one is input output interfacing. ఎవరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసి ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. యూ ప్లీజ్ మ్యూట్ యువర్ కాల్. నేను క్వశ్చన్ అడిగినప్పుడు మాత్రం అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి. రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్ యూ ప్లీజ్ మ్యూట్ యువర్ కాల్స్. Okay, so you have two types of interfacing with 8086. So what are those? Memory interfacing and input output interfacing. So these are the two types of interfacing which you are having in 8086 interfacing. So memory interfacing. So what do you mean by memory interfacing? Memory interfacing is something whenever we are performing certain operations on the microprocessor. So we are performing certain operations on microprocessor. So that means you have to provide some data to the microprocessor. So whatever the operation you want to do with using 8086 processor, so you have to provide the data related to this operation. So the data related to this operation is to be provided first. So in order to provide this data, in order to store this data, we require something called memory. Okay, so we require something called memory. Okay, so in order to store the data that is used for performing certain operation over 8086, so in order to store the data, we need something called memory. So when we are executing any instruction, we need the microprocessor to access the memory. Okay, so microprocessor has to access this memory in order to perform either read or write operations. Okay, so in order to perform read or write operations, so whatever the data that is present in the memory, so the microprocessor needs to access that memory. Okay, so when we are executing something, when we are executing an instruction, we have to make the microprocessor to access this memory. Okay, so for reading, writing instructions or some codes, so in order to read or write some codes or some data, we have to make the microprocessor to access this memory. Okay, so whatever the data that is stored in the memory, so that will be read by this microprocessor first. Okay, so in order to perform an operation, whatever the data that is present in the memory will be read by this microprocessor. So next it will process the data. So So whatever the data that is taken from the memory, it will process the data and it will generate some output. So process the data and generate some output. So this output will be again stored in the memory. So the microprocessor need to write into the memory. So in order to store the output in the memory, so the microprocessor has to write the memory. So this read and write operations are monitored by these control signals. Okay, here you have timing and control signals in microprocessor unit. So this microprocessor timing control signals will monitor this read and write operations. So whatever the read or write operations that are performed by this microprocessor, those will be monitored by the control signal. So the interfacing circuit is therefore used to therefore used to connect this memory to this microprocessor. Okay, so the interfacing circuit is used to connect the memory with the microprocessor unit. So therefore the main task of the interfacing circuit is to connect this memory unit to the microprocessor. So in such a way, so how this should be connected to this microprocessor? Microprocessor have some address data lines. If you connect this memory to directly to this address data lines, they will access the memory, right? So మీకు a question రావచ్చు. But ఏంటి? So how should it be, how this memory unit should be connected to this microprocessor unit means, so whatever the memory, whatever the signal, so that is read from this memory unit should matches the requirements with the signal of the microprocessor. So microprocessor needs some X signal. So that means the memory has to be capable of providing this X signal to the microprocessor. Okay, so the interfacing circuit is therefore should be designed in such a way that whatever the signal that is required by the microprocessor, that signal has to provided by this memory unit. So it should be designed in such a way that it matches the memory signal. Okay, so it matches the memory signal requirement of the microprocessor. Okay, so whatever the signal required in this microprocessor in order to perform an operation, that signal has to be provided by this memory unit. So in order to verify the signal matching between these two circuits, these two devices, so something called interfacing circuit is used. Interfacing circuit is used. So an interfacing circuit is therefore used to provide the signal matching between this memory unit and the microprocessor unit. So this is how interfacing is done for memory interfacing. So next, what about input-output interfacing? So input-output devices are the hardware components which are used by human. So input, let's say keyboard. So keyboard is the input device. So we will give the commands to the processor by using this keyboard only. So the user will provide the commands to this microprocessor using this keyboard. So that means keyboard is an input device. So is it a hardware or software device? So it is a hardware device. So you know difference between hardware and software, right? Hardware ki software ki difference telusu kadamma meeku. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hardware is nothing but something which a human can feel. So you can feel keyboard, right? Keyboard ni meer touch cheyagalaru. You can use keyboard. You can type by using keyboard. So keyboard, mouse, etc. are hardware devices. Okay. So software is nothing but something which we write. So instructions meer rastaru. So but our instructions ni meer feel avvagalra? No, right? So those are all called as software. Software is something which is used to run the system. Okay. So whatever we doesn't feel, we cannot feel. So that is all called as software. And whatever the components we can touch with our hand is called as software. Okay. Sorry, hardware. Hardware ante manam pattukogalgevi. Software ante the thing which we cannot feel. Okay. So but without software we cannot run a system. Okay, So keyboard is something an input device, which is a hardware part. So here the output is taken on monitor. So monitor is some output device. Okay. So keyboard is some input device and monitor is some output device. So input output devices are the hardware devices. So these are all the hardware devices which are used, which can be felt by the human being. Human being can be able to feel those components, and they will act as mediators in between the system and human. Okay, they will act as the mediator between system and human. So input and output devices are the mediators between system and humans. That means they allow user to communicate with system. User to communicate with system. Okay, so they allows the user to communicate with system. So input and output devices are the components which are used by a human to communicate with the system or a computer. So those are called as input output devices. For suppose I have said you that keyboard, let's consider keyboard. So keyboard, mouse, etc. are input devices. So monitors, printers, these are all output devices. Okay, so input output interfacing. So input output interfacing. So input output interfacing is something which provides the transfer of information between the internal storage and external storage. Okay, internal storage and external storage. So this is called as input output interfacing. So input output interfacing is nothing but which is used to allows the method of transferring the data between internal storage and external storage. So inputs are nothing but which provides the data given by the user to the computer. So whatever the data that is provided by the programmer, so that will be transferred to the computer by using input devices. And after processing the data, whatever the result that is generated by the microprocessor, that will be again taken by the user by using output devices. So they act as communication devices between the user and the computer. So in between user and computer, they will establish a communication channel. So input output interfacing is nothing but, so in order to provide the transferring of information between internal storage and external storage, some devices has to be connected in between the input and output devices and in between the microprocessor unit. So those are called as input output interfacing circuits. So whatever the devices which we use here, so in order to connect the input devices to the microprocessor and output devices to the microprocessor, those will be called as input output interfacing circuits. And these establishment of connection in between all these things is called as input output interfacing. Okay, so input output interfacing is nothing but transferring of information between internal storage and external input output devices. Okay, clear? అర్థమైందా?
Yes, ma'am.
So you understood about what is interfacing and what are the two types of interfacing we will do for 8086 microprocessor. అర్థమైందా ఇటు? హలో, ఇన్పుట్ అవుట్పుట్
Yes,
ఇంటర్ఫేసింగ్, మెమరీ ఇంటర్ఫేసింగ్ అర్థమైందా? ఓకే, so that means so let's see how the input port and output port will be defined while interfacing. So how we define the input port and how we define the output port in input output interfacing. Okay, so first of all you have something called a microprocessor. You need to access something called a microprocessor. So microprocessor is nothing but it's a CPU which is used to perform all the operations that the user wants to do. Okay, so whatever the operation a user wants to do with the CPU, so that operations will be provided by this microprocessor. The microprocessor will do all the operations as per the user requirement. So an application of this microprocessor based system requires transfer of data. Okay, so that means అది ఒక ఆపరేషన్ పర్ఫామ్ చేయాలి అంటే డేటా అనేది ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అవ్వాలి ఇన్పుట్ సర్క్యూటరీ అండ్ ద మైక్రో ప్రాసెసర్ external circuitry. So internal circuitry and external circuitry. So the data transfer has to be done between this internal and external circuitry. So any application of microprocessor based system requires the transfer of data between internal and external circuitries. Okay, so microprocessor will have some internal circuitry and microprocessor will have some external circuitry. So first unit lo internal and external components of microprocessor we have learned about that concept. So what are the components that are present internally in the microprocessor and what are the components we will connect externally to the microprocessor. So internal ga emem untai registers, arithmetic logic unit, timing control circuit. So external ga emem untai input, output and memory. సో ఇప్పుడు ఎర్లీ ఈ క్లాస్ స్టార్టింగ్ లో కూడా మనం అది డిస్కస్ చేసాము. సో రిజిస్టర్స్, ALU and timing control circuits are present internally and input output memory are presented externally to the microprocessor. So these are connected externally and those three components like resistors, ALU and timing control circuits are designed internally. So in between this internal circuitry and external circuitry, so there should be some data transfer. In order to perform an application, in order to perform an operation by the microprocessor, there should be some communication between this internal and external circuitry. Okay, so the user now can give the information to the microprocessor based system using a keyboard. So we will use a keyboard and we will give the information to the microprocessor. So as keyboard is an input device, we will use a keyboard and we will simply type the data or simply type the codes or simply give the information. So whatever we want to do, so that particular information will be provided by using a keyboard and the user will see the result or the output information within the display device. So whatever the display device we are using, so likewise normally we take the output on monitor. So monitor screen lo manam output chustam. So or else we can connect a LCD to this microprocessor. Result will be displayed LCD. Okay, so this LCD connecting to the microprocessor is again called as LCD interfacing with 8086. Okay, so we have to connect the device. So display device, we have to connect the display device to this microprocessor and we can see the result. Okay, so whatever the output information from the microprocessor we will get from the microprocessor, that will be presented to the user again with the help of a display device which is called as some output device. Okay, so the data will be transferred between the keyboard and this display device. In between a microprocessor unit will be present. Okay, so now whatever the operation we want to do, so for a particular operation we will get the microprocessor and after this operation there will be the device. So between keyboard and this device something will be present called as microprocessor unit. This transfer of data in between the keyboard and microprocessor display device is called as input output data transfer. Okay, so what is it called? Input output data transfer. So this data transfer will be done with the help of input and output ports. So what are the input and output devices we will connect to the microprocessor across the ports of input and output? So those will be used to establish the communication between this input and output devices. So here you can see the input port. Screen kanpistundana?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is your input port. So in this input port, if you can see, a tri-stated buffer is used. Okay, So this input port is first used to read the data from input devices. So what is the input devices here? Here we are using, we are making input by keyboard. So we are providing the input to the microprocessor unit by keyboard. So here this input port will provide, it is used to read the data from input devices. So what is the input devices? That is keyboard. So that means this input port is used to read the data from input device such as keyboard. So here we are considering keyboard. So mouse is another input device. Scanner is another input device. So whatever might be the device which we are using, so this input port, so which you are able to see the screen. Hope you are able to see the screen. So the device which is used, which is presented on the screen, will be used to read the data from input devices. So the simplest form for this input port is buffer. So here you can see a tri-state buffer. Kanipisunda? So input port and a tri-state buffer. So input port is nothing but a tri-state buffer. The simplest form of the input port is to use a tri-state buffer. So how can we create an input port? So by using a buffer, we can create a input port. So input port is nothing but a buffer. So here the simplest form of the input port is buffer. We are considering a buffer circuit here. So this input device connected to this microprocessor through this buffer. So that means, so what is the input unit we are using? Input unit we are considering a keyboard. So this keyboard is connected to the microprocessor unit through this buffer. So this buffer is called as interfacing circuit. Okay. So what is this buffer called? So this buffer is called as interfacing circuit. So why this buffer is called as interfacing circuit? This buffer is acting as a connector in between the keyboard or the input device to the microprocessor unit. So we have input device and we have microprocessor unit. So these two will be connected by using a buffer. So buffer is the input port, which is called as interfacing circuit. So a buffer is here your interfacing circuit. So the input device is connected to the microprocessor by using a buffer. Okay. So the buffer is tri-stated and the buffer and its output is available only the enable signal is active. Okay. Here you can see an enable signal. Okay. Screen lo enable signal kanipistundi kadamma. So to the buffer we are connecting an enable signal. So this buffer and its output is available only when this enable signal is active. So whenever we made this enable signal as active, so then only the output is available at the buffer. So that means whatever the input we are giving, so that will be available at the buffer only when the enable signal is high. Active state, it is in active state. So the microprocessor, when the microprocessor want to read the data from this input device, so it will be connected to the data bus of the microprocessor. So the data, so here the data from input device, so that is keyboard, so that will be connected to a tri-stated buffer which is acts as an interfacing circuit. So this circuit, when the user provides a data, so the data will be received at this point. So this will transfer the data to the microprocessor only when this enable signal is active high. So that means here the data, whatever the data that is provided by the keyboard, so that will be, sorry for the inconvenience. So here what is the data that is provided by the keyboard, so that will be available at this buffer only when this enable signal is active. So when the microprocessor, so it is connected to data bus of microprocessor. So the buffer is connected to the data bus of the microprocessor. Whenever the microprocessor wants to read the data from this input device, nothing but from the keyboard. So in between a buffer is present. So this buffer will be active only when this enable signal is high. So whenever the microprocessor wants to read the data from this input device, so the control signal from the processor gets activated by the buffer circuit. So that means this enable signal has to get activated. So once the buffer is enabled, so that means the buffer, enable signal is, we made the enable signal to be active high. That means the buffer get activated. So once if the buffer is activated, so once if the buffer is enabled, so the data provided by this input device, so whatever the data we are giving to the microprocessor by using this keyboard will be available on the data bus of the microprocessor. Okay. So whatever the data we are providing to the through the keyboard, so through the keyboard we are typing the data, and the data will be available at the data bus of the microprocessor on enabling this enable signal, on making this enable signal active high. So now the microprocessor will read the data from this data bus. Okay, so it will read the data from this data bus when read command is activated. Okay, so when we initiated the read command, so whatever the data that is present on this data bus, so that will be read by the microprocessor. Okay, so this is the input port. So this from one side we will give the input to the input port by using this keyboard. So this keyboard, from the keyboard the data is provided to the buffer circuit by using a keyboard. So whenever we are enabling the enable signal, so whatever the data that is provided by the input port, that will be available at this buffer. Okay, so this buffer will transfer the data to the data bus of the microprocessor. So on activating read command, so the microprocessor will read the data whatever present on this data bus. Clear? This is how the input port will get activated. So this is how a buffer circuit is called as an interfacing circuit for input port. Okay, so that means a buffer circuit should be connected in between the input device and the microprocessor unit, so which is called as interfacing circuit. Okay na?
Okay, ma'am.
అర్థమైందా? Okay, so next output side. So if you see the output side, so we have provided the data to the microprocessor. Microprocessor ki manam data provide chestamu, and it has received the data on enabling the read command. So read command activate chesamu. So whatever the data that is present on this data line, that will be accessed by the microprocessor. So after accessing the data, so what will it do? So it will process the data. So according to the user instructions, the microprocessor will operate on the data, and it will generate a result. So whatever the result that is provided by this microprocessor, that result has to transfer to the output port. So it will generate a result, right? So a result generate adi output cheyali. Result has to transfer to the output end. So that means, so again we need some interfacing between the output device and the microprocessor. Okay, we have to interface the microprocessor with some output device. So what, again we need some interfacing circuit. So what is that interfacing circuit? So we will use a latch. So latch, here latch is a interfacing circuit in between the microprocessor. So here you have again the data lines of microprocessor. So here a latch is used. So whatever the data that is provided on the data lines of the microprocessor, that will be provided to the latch. Latch will transfer to the output display. So whatever the output unit that is connected to this latch, so it will provide the information over that output device. So how the operation will be made. So the output port is used to send the data to the output device. So the output device may be a display. So it may be a monitor, or it may be an LCD screen, or it may be something else. It is a display, okay, such as a display. So an output device may be a display, okay. So it is used to, so output port is used to send the data to the output device, okay, from the microprocessor. So here you can see the data bus of the microprocessor. So after processing the data, after processing the data, input data, so it will generate some output. The output will be again transferred to the data bus of the microprocessor. Okay, so the data bus will be connected to the output unit through a latch. So here latch is your interfacing circuit. So here the latch will be used to transfer the data to the output device. So how? So here we are using a latch. So that this is connected to the data bus of the microprocessor unit. So here we are using a latch, and the latch is connected to the data bus of the microprocessor unit. So when the microprocessor wants to send the data to the output device, so then it puts the data on the data bus. So whenever it wants to send the data to the output device, it will transfer the processed data to this data bus. So that means after processing, the data will be sent to data bus of the microprocessor. So this data bus is now connected to the latch. So the data bus of the microprocessor is now connected to the latch. So latch is an output interfacing circuit. Okay. So then it will put the data on the, after data is available on the data bus, so it will have to transfer the data over a latch. So this latch has to get activated first. So how this latch will get activated? So this latch will receive this data only when clock signal is enabled. So whenever the clock signal gets activated, so then whatever the data that is present in this data bus will be received by this latch. Okay, so the latch will receive the data only when the clock signal gets activated. So latching the data from the output bus. So here, so the data latch will collect all the data from this output bus, and it will be transferred to the output display. So and the latch will transfer the data to the output display. Okay, so whatever the display or whatever the output device that is connected to this latch, so the output will be available on that output device whenever the clock signal gets activated. Okay, so this is how the output port is used. So interfacing, so you have understand the concept called interfacing, right? ఇంటర్ఫేసింగ్ అంటే ఏంటో అర్థమైందా? ఇంటర్ఫేసింగ్ is nothing but connecting an interface circuit in between the microprocessor and the external device which is connected to it. So whether it may be a memory unit, it may be an input output unit, or it may be a output device. So whatever might be the devices which are connected to the microprocessor, interfacing circuit will be present. So the microprocessor will get connected to some device through an interfacing circuit. So that interfacing circuit will provide the communication in between this microprocessor and the other circuit which is connected to it. So interfacing is nothing but establishing connection. So interfacing is nothing but connecting some device to the microprocessor. So interfacing is creating a path. So it's nothing but creating a path. So for communicating between two components, for establishment of communication between two components, so if you create something in between those two components, so that thing is called as interfacing, and the circuit used for interfacing is called as interfacing circuit. Okay, so this is about interfacing, memory interfacing, and input output interfacing. So if the interfacing device is connected between a memory unit and the microprocessor, then it is called as memory interfacing. So if the interfacing is done in between input output devices and the microprocessor, then it called as input output interfacing. So this is all about interfacing. So let's go into the topics from tomorrow. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
సో ఇక్కడ వరకు అర్థమైంది కదా? సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ డౌట్స్ లెట్ మీ నో. డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా ఈరోజు క్లాస్లో? డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా లేవా చెప్పండి. నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ కి టైం అయింది కదా. సంహిత సంహిత సుజన
Yes, ma'am.
సో డూ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ డౌట్స్? రెస్పాన్సే ఉండదు దీనికి మాత్రం. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. క్లాస్ అర్థమైంది కదమ్మా?
Yes, madam.
Let's go deep into this concept of interfacing from tomorrow's class. Thank you.